it up so far, and you trying to hold it because you don't want to let them down. Don't want to let them down. Don't want to let them down. And it blows out. Bank. Hey, Kiefer, how you doing? Shalom. Shalom. Let me spit this gum out. Good morning to you and the family. Yeah. All right. Oh, I thought I'd deal with this topic. I'm writing a book. And I'm writing a book. And so I got up this morning and was writing some things about the lost masculinity of the Israelite male. And even though it's entitled The Lost Masculinity of the Israelite Male, it's certainly appropriate for other people as well. There's a lot of stuff here that, and I just began to write this morning. I keep thinking of new stuff to write, new chapters to write. I think I'm now on my third chapter, and I think I'm going to write 10 chapters altogether. So I'm making good progress. I got a chapter that's entitled Why Women Don't Trust Men. I guess I should entitle it Why Israelite Women Don't Trust Men, but I don't want it to narrow it down like that, because I want other people to check out the book. So I might leave that chapter, Why Women Don't Trust Men. And I wrote extensively on that. And I still have a whole lot more to write on that topic. Then I have another chapter that's called What is the Mark of the Beast Really? Is and who is what and who is it targeting? Who is it really targeting? Then I have another, Lost Masculinity of the Israelite Male is a chapter that I started on today. Then I have another chapter called the E1B1A haplotype for DNA and character. And and of course I have my prelogue. Let's see. So yeah, I'm doing a lot of writing. Fathers Rearing Up Children is another title. Another chapter is called The Sustained Romantic Sexual Passion That Should Be Nurtured in the Marriage. That's a chapter. And yeah, so I got about 8 chapters. Oh yeah, I got another chapter here that I haven't even begun to write. But I just put this in here as a note. Where is the social capital of the Hebrew Israelite community? That ought to be an interesting little, interesting chapter to delve into. So yeah, I'm chugging along with this book, and so today, what I'm going to do. Hey, Taraya Israel, how you doing? Shalom. Good to see you. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. Well, okay. Uh, Melchizedek, Batia, come here. Go upstairs, get my Contigo, and squeeze some lemon in it, and put some water in it, and all that kind of stuff. I'm thirsty. Uh, yeah. But anyway, let me get started here. I don't want to dawdle. Let's see here. I'm going to read to y'all what I wrote this morning. And this chapter that I'm writing in this book is called The Lost Masculinity. The Lost Masculinity of the Israelite Male. The lost masculinity for men in general began in the Garden of Eden. The light that Adam was enshrouded in prior to the fall was a key component of the masculinity that was evidenced in the light of radiant glory. Once Adam brought his mind to doubt the love of the Father for the human race, and by seeing himself as the only adequate solution for fallen Eve, more of his manhood was sacrificed. More of Adam's manhood was sacrificed when he started to think that he loved Eve more than the Most High did. And we know that this has to be true because not one time did Adam go back to the Father and tell him what happened to Eve. Not one time. Not one time. Remember, the Most High had to come to Adam and find him. They were hiding, remember? He didn't even want to see the face of the Father because Eve had fallen into sin. She had lost her covering. She had a covering, but it was no covering. Because let me explain. The real covering of Eve was the divine nature that existed between her and the Father, Yah, and her husband. So now that you have this alternate covering, which is Satan, that really is no covering. So now you are avoiding character. You're avoiding the law of the Most High. Once Adam brought his mind to doubt the love of the Father for the human race by seeing himself as the only adequate solution for fallen Eve, by seeing himself as the only adequate solution for fallen Eve, more and more of his manhood was sacrificed. Adam did not realize that the strongest component of his masculinity and spiritual nature was pegged to the divinity of Yah, and not the woman. The mistake of Adam is still repeated today by men that are not aware that the Most High is able to the uttermost to save Eve and bring back into the bond and bring her back into the bond of the covenant. Where you get this water from, baby? Oh, okay. What bottled water? All these ones. Oh, okay. Did you put ice in here? Okay. Okay. The mistake of Adam is still repeated today by men that are not aware that the Most High is able to the uttermost to save Eve and bring her back into the bond of the covenant. It was the misguided judgment call of Adam to believe that his love for Eve was stronger than the love of Yah. Had Adam trusted the Most High's beneficent and loving character for his creation, even Eve he would have understood. He would have understood that the rescue mission to save Eve would have been a tandem effort of God as well as man. God has always used human vessels to be co-workers in the salvation and restoration of the lost. This emergency could have been resolved without Adam seeking to resolve this dilemma unilaterally. By Adam's lack of trust in the very divine entity that he was formatted in the image of, much was lost by Adam in the way of godly masculinity. To a great degree, Adam began to fear the masculine traits that make up the character of Yah, and how these traits would be interacted with fallen Eve, and how these traits would be interacted with fallen Eve, and how these traits would interact with fallen Eve. One thing that Adam seemed to forget, even though he had the entire landscape of landscape and history of creation lying before him as billboards advertising the love of the Creator, doubt. Very sad. Adam failed to realize that the woman was taken out of man, and as such, the source of Eve's femininity was extracted from him, who in turn was made in the very image of Yah. Every step of Adam to avoid the very image or face of the Most High was yet another progressive step away from a masculinity that was of a divine nature. The revelation of the divine nature is key in the understanding of masculinity as well as femininity. The masculinity that is by and large purported to be of Yah is reminiscent of the apprehension that caused Adam to choose a sinful, unrepentant woman over a faithful and loving Elohim willing to redeem. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 2, the Bible states, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Ruach of Yahuwah moved upon the face of the waters. Verse 3, and Yahuwah said, let there be light. And there was light. Yahuwah saw the light, that it was good. And Yahuwah divided the light from the darkness. Of these texts are sufficient enough evidence to let us, as well as Adam, know that the Most High's loving character is in the business of calling light out of darkness. Everything in creation spoke to this fact. Not one single time had Adam or Eve ever known of the Father to kill or destroy one living creature or thing up to that time. In 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 6, I read, for Yahuwah who commanded the light to shine out of darkness. See, that's so beautiful. It seems to me that the Most High is willing to save to the uttermost and the guttermost for him to call light out of darkness. Are we not in darkness, y'all? The Bible says darkness shall cover the earth and gross darkness the people, but Yahuwah shall shine on us and his light shall be seen on us. So it says here, 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 6, for Yahuwah who commanded the light to shine out of darkness have shined in our hearts. The hearts of sinful men, yeah, that's where the darkness is. Has shined in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of Yahuwah in the face of Mashiach Yahushai. So the face of the Mashiach is not the face that you want to run away from. That's the face you want to run to when you're in trouble, not a from. Nowhere in Genesis did the Most High say that he was going to kill Eve. Nowhere. All he said was, the day that you eat of this fruit, ye shall die. He didn't say he was going to kill her. He said she was going to die. In other words, partaking of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, that is what's going to kill you, not me. Not me. The tree. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people. Watch this. Wherefore we should show forth the praises of him, watch this, who called you out of darkness into a marvelous light. He called a group of people out of the darkness of sin into a marvelous light. He would have done that. He was going to do that with Eve. He was going to do it with Eve. If Eve was the only being on earth that ever sinned, the Most High would have came just to save that one. See, y'all don't believe how much the Most High loves human beings. Y'all don't believe it. You got all this hate being taught, and so nobody believes that. And I believe that a lot of these people that's preaching this hate, I don't believe they really believe that the Most High even loves them. I don't believe it. It's just too much hate. Yes, we are a chosen people. Yes, we are a holy nation who he has called out of darkness into a marvelous light. But he called us out of darkness into a marvelous light so we can call others out of darkness into a marvelous light. I'm not saying that we should be calling other people out of darkness and we are in darkness. No, it says get the beam out your own eye so you can see more clearly how to remove the mote from your brother's eye. So don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted now. Hey, Pete Holmes and Shawanda, Ariella, Eliza. So we're talking about the lost masculinity of the Israelite male. The lost masculinity of the Israelite male is pegged directly to the divine nature of the Most High. Okay? The reason why a lot of us as men do not know how to be husbands and fathers is because not one of us, when we were being raised, was told anything about the divine nature that men ought to have. You don't know nothing about that. Yeah, you were taught right and wrong, but that's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. It's not just a list of do's and a list of don'ts, rights and wrongs. No, having a divine nature is way more, way deeper than just knowing the difference between what's wrong and right, what's your left hand, what's your right. It's way deeper than that. You're talking about the divine nature. And so, because we as men were not taught about having a divine nature, let's look at that. First Peter chapter, Second Peter chapter 3, verse, no, Second Peter chapter 1, verse 3. I'm auto correcting. Second Peter chapter 1, verse 3 and 4, I believe. Let's see. Let's start at verse 3. Look at this. According as his divine power hath given unto us all things that pertain unto life and godliness, through the knowledge of him that hath called us to glory and virtue, whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises, that by these ye might be partakers of the divine nature, having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust. So the divine nature has you escape the corruption of the world through lust. You know how I know that we're not raised with the divine nature? Because from the time that we come out the womb, we're lusting. Matter of fact, our parents teach us to lust. We're actually trained to lust with the television programs, with the schools, co-ed schools we go to, the girlfriends our parents allow us to have, the television programs, the music we listen to. None of that stuff is the divine nature. None of it is. Jobs that we get, the reason why we want jobs, the reason why we get married and even have children, everything we've done in our life has been based on the infrastructure of the carnal nature, not the divine nature. Even know how to interact with the opposite sex. Why? Why? Even our own wives. Why? Because we don't have the divine nature, and neither does our mates, girlfriends, boyfriends. We don't even know anybody with a divine nature. We never even been in a real friendship. We never even been in a friendship. We don't even want to be in a friendship with somebody with a divine nature. A divine nature is just another way of saying a divine character. Statute, laws, and commandments. That's just another way of saying it. It's the same thing I've been saying. I'm just saying it in a different way. So that's what the divine nature is. It's the divine character. The divine character is a transcript of the law of the Most High. You saw how I broke that down? So I just wanted to give you a foundation of not just what manhood and masculinity is. Femininity is pegged to the divine nature of the Most High. The reason why our women don't know how to be women, our mothers don't know how to be mothers, our wives don't know how to be wives, is really because our men don't know how to be men. It really is. Because remember now, the feminine nature came out of the male. Let's look at it. Genesis 2:18. I know this sounds crazy. Hey baby, how you doing? So Genesis 2:18. And Yahuwah and Yahuwah said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make a helpmeet for him. Verse 24. All right, baby, have a blessed day. Well, don't fall, honey. In those shoes. Therefore shall a man leave his father and mother. Okay, let's go up to verse 23. Adam said, now this is bone of my bone. Now you heard that? This is bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. So the female is taken out of the male. And that's why the male can have the X and Y chromosome, but the woman don't. Okay? Because the woman is taken out of the male. He is the archetype for the female. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Okay? So if woman was taken out of man, and man was made in the image of the Most High, that means woman was made in the image of man. Yeah, ostensibly, yes, she's made in the image of the Most High, but not directly. Indirectly. You see? He didn't make Eve out of dirt directly. He made her out of something inside of the man. So the foundation of femininity is men knowing and embracing the divine nature of masculinity. And the reason why our women are out of order, and the reason why the women of other nations are out of order, because the Israelite man is out of order. Once the Israelite man gets in order, the nation of priests and kings, all women, especially the Israelite women, they're going to get in order. So all of this MGTOW and feminism is being fed by the Israelite male. It's being fed by the Israelite male. It was Adam. It was Adam. Should have knew how loving the Father was. Adam should have knew how loving the Father was. But Adam, faith faltered. His faith faltered. And he didn't think it was any other way for him to be with Eve if he didn't do something. Even though he saw all of creation and how beautiful it was, the rivers, the trees, the grass, the birds, the bees, the flowers. He saw how beautiful the Most High made everything for man and the woman. But yet he couldn't see in the very handiwork of creation that the Most High would save Eve. He couldn't see that. All he could hear was she was going to die. He didn't say he was going to kill her. He said she was going to die. He basically told her that the tree was going to kill her. The knowledge of the good tree of good and evil, that's what's going to kill you. Adam had never seen the Most High kill anything. Never had he seen the Most High destroy anything, but yet he's running from the Most High. And everything that he is passing while running declares the glory and love of the Most High for the human race. When he was running past the flowers to hide, running past the trees to hide, all those things spoke of the goodness of the Most High and how much he loved the Most High. The bees, the birds that he ran past, everything. But he was hiding. He was hiding. What he should have been doing was running to the Father. What he should have did was run to the Father and said, you know what? Eve has gotten into some trouble and we need some help. But he didn't do that. He didn't do that. He turned into an unregenerate simp. Now he puts himself in a position where not only does she need salvation, but he needs it. And all this was brought about through negligence and carelessness. But anyway, that's all I wanted to share with y'all. Just a short word, just something short about masculinity and femininity. This is Prophet Rawanawa B with the One Tough Guy channel. Thank you for coming and supporting it, coming and listening. For those who were here or still are here, you guys take it easy and have a good day. Like, share, and subscribe and comment. Thank you very much. Shalom.